Hello guys, it's Dale. This week's movies I watched were Borat and Popstar, and I really thought they were interesting because they was kind of a mockumentary twist where it was kind of like showing us something similar for both of them. One being a glossy, very celebrity-based viral moment one, and one being more kind of like showing us down to earth, not really down to earth, but you know what I mean, like more like people around us, like not so rich and everything. They're both messing with the idea of truth and authenticity and performance, and they're using comedy to highlight how weird and fake parts of our culture are. Borat, and where I really think this movie stands out is that it pretends to be a real documentary. It's raw, it's low budget, and its central character, Borat, is interacting with real people who kind of aren't really actors. They're actually real people that don't know what's going on, and it kind of makes it a little uncomfortable. And then he plays, Sacha Baron Cohen plays such an offensive and over-the-top person, trying to get these people to reveal who they are and like show their ignorance, that it's a bit absurd. But I think like kind of the real postmodern thing about Borat is that there's real no plot. It's just kind of a road trip full of awkward encounters. There's no art, there's no redemption, there's no art, there's no lesson to be learned. Instead, it's just showing us how bizarre and contradictory people can be, especially when they think they're in control of a conversation, or like they think this person like can't speak as good as English or anything, you know. And like it shows the line between what's real and what's scripted, and then it's kind of like it just wants us to sit in our own discomfort. And then Popstar is kind of a lot more different. Like I was saying, it's glossy, it's fast-paced, it's got a lot of editing, it's got some celebrities in it, viral moments, and even absurd songs, really absurd. But it's feels like in this one, the character is more scripted for everybody else than for himself. Like it feels like more like it feels like his entire identity is made for public consumption. Like even his emotional breakdowns and comeback attempts are just branded and like kind of on like him trying to get higher and higher. Then you like look at his songs like I'm So Humble and Equal Rights, and they're just absurd, but they're kind of close to where he is. Then like it's not that absurd, you know. The gap between parody and the real thing is barely noticeable. And I really think what's interesting between the two is they're using parody to reveal the truth. Borat exposing social hypocrisy and the kind of bigotry that's around, and then Popstar exposing the emptiness of fame and the constant pressure to perform. Both cases, the characters are fake. Borat is persona and Connor's a product, but the environments they move through are very real. Can't really like fake those, especially in like Borat when we see like it's very intimate, and he's like kind of like in these people's faces. I think that's kind of where postmodernism really takes effect here. They're showing you that the systems we believe in, whether it's American values, how amazing we are as a country, or you know where we're going or where we were, and like even celebrity culture and like how we put these people up on our pedestal, are just kind of absurd, and they're just fragmented. You know, they're just, you know, it's just like a weird way of looking at the world. So even though Borat feels raw and confrontational, Popstar feels polished and playful. They're both working towards the same goal, tearing down the illusion that we see on TV and politics and media is ever really real. That's what makes them very effective as postmodern comedies. I really enjoyed this week. It kind of, you know, it's a little hard. It wasn't hard last week, but I really enjoyed the movies, like thought-provoking, whereas this week it was like more like just kind of like lighthearted. And I wasn't really thinking about kind of the underlying tones of like how Borat was being treated by some of the people. I was just kind of laughing at it like I did when I was younger. And, you know, kind of going back and like thinking about that and having discussions with my wife about like how they were treating him. And that's just like not really a funny thing, but it's like an awkward thing to kind of laugh at, you know. And then like even looking at like how absurd Connor was, like that, you know, how over the top he was, and how he was just trying to have the next viral moment to get big, trying to make the next viral song. And it's like falling into that trap is, you know, with TikTok and everything, it's like, are we doing that more and more? You know, just the thought-provoking talks I was able to have this week was, you know, a lot more in depth, a little harder, you know, I guess not really hard movies, but more so just like not as thought-provoking. That's where it's hard. But you guys have a great week and stay safe this summer.